Folks, I hope you're buckled up because today's stock might explode a lot higher. In today's video, we've got a lot to discuss. Number one, what's going on with Bitcoin as it booms higher and higher. Number two, I want to walk you through and do a lovely deep dive into what is going on with our favorite crypto miner, Mara Lovely Mara. Why I believe this has a lot more upside left, and we've talked about this for the last 4 weeks as it's gone on a massive parabolic run, but I believe it has a lot farther to go, and I'm going to explain exactly why. She broke out into yet another new cycle high at 27.73 on Friday, and while she was fairly flat today, you're not going to believe what she has in store. And finally, number three, I want to discuss some under-acknowledged crypto miner plays, some alternatives to Mara that I believe are getting very tossed under the rug and are also primed for massive breakouts. As always, make sure to do all your own due diligence, because if you're the one taking the risk, you're the one that's got to be doing the ultimate frisk. But let's get right to work. Okay, so full context here. Now, Bitcoin is on a huge obliteration cycle. Not capital obliteration, but bear obliteration. The bears are getting slaughtered. The lovely coin of Bit has been obliterating resistance levels and barreling towards levels originally gained in the 2021 Bitcoin bull cycle. Now, why is it running so aggressively? Well, there's a ton of catalysts, and in no particular order. The first one is, well, rate cuts are expected in 2024, allowing markets to go more risk on. Secondly, the much awaited Bitcoin ETF approval is expected to finally come in January, making 2024 the year of insane institutional adoption. Incoming Bitcoin ETFs will provide a ton more avenues for institutional players to start really allocating into the sector, a sector that a lot of people are going to be calling their advisors and recommending and begging them to allocate into as it continues going up. People, of course, hate Bitcoin until it goes up to new all-time highs, and then when it goes up to new all-time highs, you won't believe the line that you see to buy more Bitcoin. And that is exactly why this Bitcoin ETF approval is such a big stinking deal, because it's going to accelerate that already coming trend. Thirdly, and one of the most underappreciated catalysts is the halving. Bitcoin's impending halving event is coming April 24th, and of course, as you know, Bitcoin is designed to have a limited supply with a total of about 21 million coins that will ever be mined. Now, every 4 years, the number of Bitcoins generated as a reward for mining is cut in half. And this halving event has historically led to significant price movements for Bitcoin. The previous halvings in 2012 and 2016 and 2020 resulted in dramatic bull markets. Ones that created massive amounts of wealth for those holding Bitcoin or for those plain Bitcoin miners. As the supply of new Bitcoin decreases, the demand usually increases, which can drive the price much higher. And that is another reason you're seeing markets rush to pre-factor in all of these massive positive tailwinds that are coming in the beginning of 2024. Now, how do you play this Charlie toe? Well, Bitcoin miner Mara has been one of our favorite ways, and we've been talking about this since December 5th. Yes, I understand you could have gotten it a little bit cheaper if you had gone in before December 5th, but it's gone up a lot since then. Context on Mara, we explained back on December 5th that our thesis was that we'd see a break of $20 resistance before the end of the year. At the time, Mara was trading at just about $14-15, and we said you'd see Mara completely blow through that 20 resistance and continue to build. It happened faster than we expected, but more importantly, and really more impressively, our called out Mara calls at strike 20 have gone from an average ask at $1.05 to, at the time of shooting this video, $8.20. And at highs, they went to around $8.65, which is around an 8x. So if you had bought these calls around the time that we had called them out, well, guess what? You would have gotten almost an 8x, around an 8x. Now, of course, Mara did have some down days, and during those down days, if you didn't understand how to trade with a trend or even understand how to analyze a trend, well, you would have been obliterated, because you would have seen one small percent down and you would have been like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and panic out. Quite frankly, the statistics show that most people, they either panic out at every downtrend or they refuse to even reassess their position and they hold endlessly and aimlessly. Most people, unfortunately, fall into the I have to sell in every single down candle, or I have to hold through everything regardless of if my thesis is even still true. But anyways, we had a lot of people say, Charlie, what if Mara has a down cycle before expiration? Then folks are going to get slaughtered. It's terrible for you to suggest Mara calls. Well, again, respectfully, that's a perfect reason why you need to, number one, be employing risk management, but also why, number two, you need to be committing yourself to taking profits off the table, locking in your profits. With a call option like the ones that we called out on Mara, you have the ability to resell your contract at any point up to expiration. If you're up, for example, 5, 6, 7, 8x on Mara calls, well, all of a sudden, if Mara starts going statistically against you, well, it might make sense to take some profits off the table, right? That's your judgment call. But again, at the end of the day, you need to make sure, number one, you have a clear entry and exit plan, and number two, you're doing risk management. If you need help with that, we do have a brand new options program linked right down below. If you don't like me very much, I'm a little bit loud, well, trust me, there's a ton of free options content on YouTube as well. Personally, I think my program's the best, of course, but if you want to do something online for free, you could try that as well. But please, folks, educate yourself and familiarize yourself with options before you ever trade them, because if you don't, you're just going to end up losing all your moolah. But anyways, moving forward, what is the bullish thesis for Mara stock? Why would you still continue to believe that there's more upside left, Charlie? Well, there are several reasons why Mara Lovely Mara is likely to continue on an overall uptrend in Q1 of 2024, and the main reason is, of course, the company's focus on Bitcoin mining and its leadership in the Bitcoin mining space. As the popularity and acceptance of the coin of Bit continue to grow, so does the demand for mining operations that produce it. Marathon Digital Holdings, Mara Lovely Mara, is positioning itself as a leader in this industry, which bodes pretty well for its future growth prospects. But the big strategic step, in my opinion at least, and we've been covering Mara for years, but the big strategic step Mara has taken is stacking up tons and tons of Bitcoin. This is very key because when halving occurs in April, and that cuts the number of Bitcoin in half and drives up the remaining Bitcoin value, well, Mara's inventory will not just have huge insulation, but it should also benefit quite a lot from the coming price appreciation. Smaller companies that need insanely high rewards in order to mine Bitcoin are going to get destroyed in the halving, but big leaders like Mara should be able to actually gain even more market share. Mara has some 14,025 BTC in their BTC treasury, and accordingly, they are in a strong position to benefit from the increase in demand and scarcity of the coin of bits, which I think will ultimately boost the value of Mara stock quite a lot. Lastly, it's very, very important to note that Mara Lovely Mara has been actively investing in expanding its mining operations. Operativos. The company has been working incredibly hard acquiring additional hardware and securing partnerships with industry-leading technology providers. These investments have allowed Mara Lovely Mara to increase their mining capacity and efficiency, positioning it to, in my view at least, capitalize on the growing demand for Bitcoin as we head into Q1 of 2024. Now, have I been wrong before on Mara? Have I said that Mara was going to go up and it went up a lot, and then all of a sudden you had a crypto winter, which I didn't see coming, and all of a sudden Mara went down like a dog only to come back a couple years later? Sure, but as traders, it's our goal and it is our life philosophy to try to exploit the moves to the upside and to the downside, and not to care too much about the overall thesis. You can have an overall thesis that Bitcoin's going to the moon over 20 years, but over that 20-year time horizon, you're going to have a lot of crypto winters, and if you don't know how to trade those crypto winters, you're going to get destroyed. There's going to be a bank account winter in your future. But anyways, bigger picture, our breakdown on Mara has been so far pretty damn right over the last month, and the question now is how much farther can she go? Well, here's what I'll say. Mara's infrastructure is way ahead of where it was in 2021. Mara has a ton more experience and recognition. Mara has proven herself capable of surviving the crypto winter, the winter of crypto, and its management has proven that they can handle all of the BS that gets thrown at them when shite hits the fan. So I just don't see a world where Bitcoin continues going up like she is now and Mara doesn't continue to break out. I think you see Bitcoin demand continue to drive Mara deep into the 2021 range, if not higher, post-halving. I think that Mara is easily going to be breaking out into 30, 35 in the coming weeks at this pace, and the next sell-off, sure, can take her back down to 20, but who cares? The people that care when Mara sells off are people that have no creativity at all and can only think in one direction or the other. When Mara has her next aggressive dip tease cycle where she goes down to 20, maybe even 18, well, guess what happens? Well, that's not just an opportunity to play the dip, but more importantly, that's an opportunity to play the downside and then play the reinvigoration to the upside. Now, of course, I mentioned this earlier, but I think the best way to play Mara Lovely Mara is with options. You just get a lot more leveraging capability with options, and if you want to learn how to trade with options, I'll put the link down below. Coupon code LAUNCH50 to our program. But in any case, moving on, what are some of the other crypto miner stocks to know? Well, Riot Blockchain is a leading Bitcoin mining company that operates one of the largest mining operations in North America. They have a fleet of high-performance miners and use renewable energy sources, making them an environmentally conscious choice. Please, folks, trade for the earth. Don't let the earth trade for you. But anyways, obviously, Bitcoin destroys a lot of energy, and it is very helpful to have more environmentally conscious companies, all jokes aside. Additionally, Riot Blockchain is actively expanding its mining capacity and aims to increase its hash rate in the coming years, and they have a lot of proof of concept of being able to do that. The other one that I want to bring you over to is BTBT. We do want a dippy debito on BTBT, but BTBT has consistently generated positive revenue and has quite the solid balance sheet with minimal debt and healthy cash reserves. This stability is something that investors love to see. It provides a lot of proof of concept and a nice foundation for future growth. BTBT is another player that I believe is positioned to be a leader in the Bitcoin mining space and certainly has a lot of proof of concept on the chart of being able to benefit from euphoria cycles in Bitcoin. I would also take a look at Cypher, which has gone on a little bit of a run today. But again, if you get a good dippy debito, it could be a pretty solid opportunity for you to have on your watch list. I mean, Cypher has a strong track record of delivering consistent and impressive financial results over the past few years. Cypher has consistently reported strong revenue and profit growth, making it a pretty damn attractive stock in the space. Anyways, folks, let us know your favorite crypto miner stock down below. Where's Bitcoin going? Where's more going? Let us know down below. We love hearing from you. Means a lot to have your support and viewership. We'll see you in the next video. Make sure to hit that ravishing like button and subscribe. If you're feeling a little bit ill, remember the doctor always says the best prescription is a subscription.